Assessments of evolution writing is a study area that has practices guiding elevators in their performance when doing different writing tasks. Different writers desire to attain the ethnic creation of assessments or test items. Even though many guidelines exist that could give room for improved performance in this field, there seems to be no ideal method of attaining authentic assessments. Therefore, there are some generally accepted do's and don'ts in this area of study. Different authors also apply different test writing techniques and each has its pros and cons. Regardless of the assessment technique used, it could be improved. They must undergo critical processes to ensure that the assessment products are reliable, rigorous, and valid. Do's and don'ts. An assessment is regarded as one of the hardest parts of education as it involves the establishment of whether or not different learning goals have been achieved. The do's and don'ts of the assessment writing are meant to create a standardized process that could establish acceptable means of assessing different educational outcomes. One of the do's includes the use of backward design, which involves starting with the thought of the objective that needs to be tested before writing the question. The next step is to dictate a structure before starting, and in this case, can decide to spread the questions equally among the testable areas. An author can also incorporate visuals where they deem fit, be mindful of where the assessment will be used. Finally, they should consider how long the test should take. The don'ts includes not writing questions that are all the same level. Instead, they should be mixed. They should avoid biased questions and avoid getting biased answers. Authors should also avoid asking hard questions that the analysis of the content given cannot easily answer. Also, the use of hard words that suppress the understanding of the audience should be avoided. They should also avoid tricky questions for the target audience. Finally, throwaway answer questions should not be obvious to the student or target audience in the order to give the assessment meaning. Assessment techniques. Different authors use many assessment techniques, and they have pros and cons. An example that I find most challenging is concept mapping, which checks how the student sees the big picture from interacting with different reading materials or part of the curriculum. In this regard, a student is asked to organize or represent concepts learned in their own unique ways to demonstrate how they have understood the connection among different variables. The advantage of the concept mapping includes the visualization of the topic and clarification of the relation between variables in a study topic. The cons includes a tendency to consume more time and also the lack of explanation involved in the technique. Therefore, it could be improved by adding an explanation of the main concepts in their relations with their variables. The last part ensures the validity and reliability of the assessment, which can be achieved through 5 steps. The first one of the deconstruction of the standards to be applied in the study unit. Then the alignment of thinking levels should be done by considering the levels of student. After this, creation of a valid, reliable assessment should follow by gauging how results should be interpreted and the consistency required. The next step is to ensure rigor, which should ensure students move up through achieving creative thinking. Finally, an assessment should be made part of planning rather than being included as an afterthought. Thank you.